Good morning, everybody. This is Taz from the Active Wellbeing Society's Big Run project, here on a sensory walk this morning at Highbury Park with Highbury Orchard community volunteer Liz Wright. So I hope you guys are receiving this live video from the event page. Today I'm starting the event through the event page. We've shared the event. Hopefully people have liked it, followed it and shared it on. And we will share it onto a main page if you're not seeing this or viewing this online directly. So it's like we said, we're going to wait for a few of our viewers to come online. I'll let you know where I am and what the plan is today. And we're going to enjoy a half an hour walk together. So I'll be doing the walking and talking, and Liz is going to be showing some of the great work that she does here, the Highbury Orchard, with the Highbury Orchard Community CIC. So welcome viewers. Just nice to see a good number of people coming online, and I'll do another introduction. My name's Taz. I work for the Active Wellbeing Society's Big Run project, and I've been leading on a few sensory walks since we've been in lockdown, and just to help you reconnect with your green spaces, to show you that it's safe to go out now, to go out for your walk, for your mental well-being, for your physical well-being, for your general well-being, and enjoy some of the beautiful spaces in Birmingham, the open spaces, the parks. So today I'm in a lovely spot called the Highbury Orchard, in Highbury Orchard, with a Highbury Orchard community volunteer. I've just banged my head, apologies. Just coming out and show you where I am. So that was my little hut here, and I turned the camera, and hopefully you're going to get to see some of the views. So we're in Highbury Orchard, which is in Highbury Park, with Highbury Orchard community volunteer today, Liz Wright. So let's go and introduce you to Liz. Hello Liz, you're on live.
Hi.
Welcome to the Facebook live video with the Active Wellbeing Society. Can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do here?
Okay, well, as you said, I'm Liz, and me and my partner David set up Highbury Orchard Community about 10 years ago in this space, and this space was just a waste ground for many years. For about 30 years it had become a waste ground. It was literally up to about my shoulders with weeds, and you couldn't see a thing. So what we have now is disclosed underneath is a brick floor, as you can see around me.
So there's a brick floor, yeah.
Which was part of an old barn many years ago. And various other oddities and signs that human beings were busy here once before, but it had fallen into neglect, and we felt it shouldn't be neglected. And we wanted to do a sort of experimental orchard, really, a place where people can reconnect with nature. And over the last 10 years, this is what we've built up, and are actually in the process of handing on to some new people. So it's a living space, and lots of different things will happen.
Brilliant. So guys, those who just joined us, welcome. We're at Highbury Orchard with Liz Wright from Highbury Orchard Community CIC. We're going to walk through the lovely orchard. Liz is going to talk about all the great work she does here, and maybe we're going to listen and use our senses. We're going to see, obviously we've got these beautiful sights. Maybe I can do the smelling part and the touching part for you guys who are watching on live. And I know it will awaken your senses. That's the idea. We're awakening your senses. We're going out for a walk. It's great for your well-being, like we said earlier, just to connect with green spaces and find hidden gems like this that, you know, are on our doorstep, but we don't get out to see them very often. So hopefully we're going to enjoy our time together now. So let's start.
Okay, would you like to start with these cards?
Yep.
Okay, so I have 4 cards, and I'm going to just shuffle them up and jumble them up and ask Taz to choose, and we'll see what it says. These are different ways that you can engage at the orchard. So there we go.
Different ways before. Do I look at it or no?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to turn it up right, and the word there is express. So these are different ways we're going to learn and experience. So we're going to start off with the word express.
Okay, well that's an interesting one to start with. It's almost finishing part, but I did random, so there we go. Express, different ways that people who visit here can express themselves. So that's kind of arty, crafty side, and as it so happens, we're standing right here next to a tree that leans over our little camp base, that has been very expressively and creatively decorated with crochet by our very good friend Naima, who's been part of the orchard community for quite a number of years, and she's used the rainbow, and she's just about covered a good deal of this tree, and we've even had one or two mandalas that they get removed or they get blown off in the wind. And these things come and go. What I like about this, a living orchard in terms of what people do here as well as the plants. So this may be here for a while and then it starts to get a bit tatty and we cut it off and something else gets made. We could have a look at something else that somebody's made. If you come this way.
So there's a lovely space here, guys. So looks like there's a fire pit and some places to sit and enjoy our time.
People get different ideas and they want to have a try at things and express themselves in different ways. So this bench was made by hand, splitting a log all the way down its length.
Wow.
Which is great fun to do if you know what you're doing. And David's beginning to get to know what he's doing. So he did this, and then drilling the holes in and sticking in other much smaller pieces of log. And of course we've got something to sit on. And a number of these have been made, and again, they don't last forever. We don't use seasoned wood. We just use what we can find. And that's part of, it's a playground for adults, is this orchard. We also have a number of children normally visiting here, and a number of people in Birmingham will know that. This is where we run Woodland Play, which is a forest school kind of programme for young people. And children find ways to play here too. Obviously they don't need an awful lot of guidance or stimulation on that. They find the worms, they find the soil, they find the leaves, they play with the bricks. Lots of different things go on here. But we also love to see the adults at play as well, because we all need it.
Absolutely. We've got a few viewers who are saying hello to you and hello to me. And it's nice to see. Hi guys, so Aisha, Eileen, Sarah, Dav, everyone else watching from the Highbury Orchard community also watching as well. So you might want to say hello to your viewers as well.
Yeah, fantastic. It's nice to know that people have signed in and tuned in with us. And yes, it's going to be pretty windy here. So in fact, you've got the comfort of your homes there, which is a pretty nice way to enjoy this place.
Brilliant. So yeah, let's go to our next section. Fabulous.
Would you like another card?
Yes.
Okay.
So random choice again, guys. Random. Ooh, I love this one. This is what I'm here to experience.
Right. Well, I'm kind of happy you chose that, because just being here and just standing still for a moment or two is a kind of an experience. And today it's wind, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's so different from being indoors. If you step from indoors to the outside and you feel it's colder and you can hear the noise of the wind around you, you can feel it against your skin, and all of a sudden your senses start to come alive and you kind of feel woken up and connected with this outdoor space. So it's quite nice to kind of breathe it in and listen to it. And you just watch it in the treetops and swaying of the trees. And that's a kind of an experience. You get the birds chattering away as well, don't you? So if we go into the garden, we can start to experience the plants.
Let's do that. Thank you, Liz.
Here's one of my favourites. We didn't talk about this one last time you came.
No.
This is tangled up in the pear tree, and it's looking very young at the moment because it's early in the year, and it's called teasel.
If you can say that a little bit louder for our viewers, what was it called?
Teasel.
Teasel.
Teasel. It's very spiky, and its flower head, which hasn't bloomed yet, is also quite sort of rough, like a brush, and this plant would have been used to tease sheep's wool to sort of straighten it out so that all the fibres are going in one direction. So its name, it sort of tells you what it does. But you can see it's very spiny all over its stem, and even the backs of the leaves. Is that coming across?
Yeah, I can see that clearly on the camera.
Lovely, beautiful, spiky sepals, and then the flower will turn a lovely pinky purple, and the bees go absolutely la-la over it. So they're all over it in the early summer, and then it produces loads and loads of seeds, and then the birds are all over it later on in the year. Because it's so tall, this one's gone way up. Look.
Yeah, that's.
So it's got quite a good architectural shape. So we like to leave it. When you could call it a weed and pull it out. But no, it's really great to be here. And another little trick it does, which I love about this plant because it's sort of multifunctional, is the way these leaves form into a cup shape. So when we've had rain, the water sits in there, like it just gets held in the little space, and little creatures can go in there for a bit of a drink. So it really looks after its little world. It looks after the bees, it looks after the birds, it looks after other small creatures. Lower down, this one's got a bit of water in it down.
There you go. So this is exactly what Liz talked about. It's like filling up with water so that it can look after everyone else as well, not just itself. So it's like a feeder plant. It's helping collect water. It's great. Thank you. So you got a thumbs up for that one as well. So yeah, please, people do give us the emojis so we know you're experiencing what we're experiencing. Any questions you have, you can drop it in the comment section here. We'll try and answer them if we know the answers. If not, we can get back to you after the end of the live session. So we'll still answer any questions. So please do drop any questions you have for Liz or ourselves on the comment section. Thank you. Got lots of thumbs up, likes, emojis coming through.
Okay. So this is touchy-feely plant. Lots of senses to that. For the
so touchy-feely, yeah. So another sense. Well,
and it's sad to say we get the wild animals here, the wild humans who don't really look after themselves.
That's not good
us.
To see, guys. So we are really up for cleaning our green spaces. We've been talking about that in all the 4 previous videos. If you have rubbish, take it home with you. If there's no bins here, just put them in the bag, take it, find a bin nearby. And the bins are overflowing in the parks, don't put it there, leave it next to the bin, because the wildlife will just come and take it. So take it with you. It just does not take much effort to carry the bag back. You've got it from wherever you've got that from, so you can take it back to their bin and drop it there if you want to, if you don't want to take it home. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Very important. We'll clear that later.
Come and visit here, but we really like it when they leave no trace. What should we look at next?
Well, I can see just from this view now, what I can see and what you guys can see is colours, like lots of different colours. Now you might say I can only see green, but I can see lots of different shades of green here. And in between the green, I've seen beautiful colours of plants and flowers. I've also can see fruits right ahead of me and above your head there, Liz. So
yeah, this is a good tree.
Let's go to this one.
So this is one of our first apple trees that we planted here, and it will be grafted from a cutting which is known as a scion, from a much older tree. Now Joe Chamberlain was the wealthy industrialist who owned this estate over 100 years ago, and he had an orchard which is further up the bank there, and some of the trees are still living, so we've taken cuttings from them and grafted them onto rootstock so that we are preserving the old varieties, and that was one of the main reasons for creating this orchard in the first place. There's many reasons actually, but that was one of the initial ones, and as you can see it's beginning to produce its apples. This one next to it, you might be able to recognise that the apples are a bit like Bramleys. We think they probably are Bramleys when they've grown a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Later on in the year we'll see a bit more distinctly.
Yeah, so those are like your Bramley apples there. I can see that when we zoom into it.
And then below that tree is one of my, I think you will hear me say one of my favourite plants many times, because I have a number. This one's so different from the teasel that we were talking about. It's feel that, Taz, and tell me how it feels.
Oh, very velvety and very soft. I wasn't expecting that kind of feel.
Yes. Some of you will probably know that this is a member of the carrot family. If you look at your carrot leaves that come on your carrot top sometimes, it's got very, very similar patterns. A bit fern-like, really. But this is not carrot. The velvety feel, and if you crush it and smell that, it's... See what Taz thinks of that.
Oh yes, so licoricey and
Yes, aniseedy
kind of smell. Yeah.
So this is sweet Sicily, which is a favourite plant of Victorians, and they typically used it in concoctions that they made with rhubarb, which is what I've been doing because we've got lots of rhubarb here in the orchard, and so I've been making rhubarb cordial with sweet Sicily attached. And these seeds, which look a little bit like witches' fingernails or something, are quite distinctive too. Some of them are just turning a little bit. Perhaps these might be a little bit riper than the green ones. And they also will have a very strong smell of aniseed. Let's see, you can just peel that open. Oh, well, I've got it on my fingers anyway, but just smell that.
Just gonna smell that. Let me turn the camera and okay, so let me smell this. Yes, exactly the similar smell from the Sicily leaf. Okay, lovely. Let's keep going.
Yeah, so that's a good one. You can
I'm keeping that.
Not everything here is edible. For example, some people will know this is beautiful foxglove, which only turns up every now and again, so I always welcome that plant when it appears. We had loads of it about 6 or 7 years ago, and then all its seeds seemed to go underground and just remain dormant. But this year it suddenly decided to produce foxgloves all over again. But you may know that the seeds, I think it's the seeds or the whole plant of the foxglove is digitalis, I think its name is, or something, which is affects your heart, so it could give you a heart attack or something, I believe, if you eat that. So we don't obviously do that, but we love to see it, and we've got some white ones lurking about somewhere, so we may come across them a bit later. But I just spotted another plant that's for touching and smelling.
Yeah, let's go and explore.
Be careful where we walk, because underneath all this is what we call a hugelkultur berm, which is filled with logs and brush and soil, and it's all quietly rotting down to create a very nice nutritious base, particularly for the trees but also for the other plants. But it does mean if you stand on it, you might trip over things. This is rather a poor sample, sorry about that, being slightly eaten. A member of the mint family, you can see the way it's
Yes,
growing.
let me take that from you.
But it's rather pretty because it's variegated.
Let's have a look at that one
and
closer.
How does that feel, Taz?
Okay, let me see how this feels.
Rub the leaf and you get the sensation from it.
Okay, so it's not as soft as the other leaf there, but yeah, it's not spiky or hard in any way. If
It's
I can get the
kind of
smell.
rough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's rough from the top there.
Yeah.
And then, does it have a smell, distinct smell? Oh yes, very strong. Ah, I've smelt that many times. What is that smell?
It's known as pineapple mint.
Pineapple
now,
mint.
I don't know if it really is pineapple smell. It could be any very sweet thing, couldn't it, really?
Yeah.
But that's what it's known as. It's a member of the mint family.
Member of the mint family, guys. So I normally have my peppermint tea and mint tea. So it kind of reminds me of my drink. But you might find that in lots of other smells as well around the house. That's lovely.
More spiky, spiny things. This is a good way that a plant has of protecting itself from visitors. You know, it's sort of got bits sticking out saying keep out the way, and that way it keeps itself safe. And really that's all that nettles are ever doing. You know, we think of them as sort of nasty, mean plants that sting us. They're only protecting themselves. And this is a gooseberry, and I think all the gooseberries have gone, but the spines and the leaves remain. So that's protecting itself. Here's another member of the mint family, which is well loved in this place. The children seem to recognise this one very quickly, and it's got a different smell. I'm just going to rub that and then offer it to you to smell. Tell me what you detect there.
Okay, so more like a lemony, citrusy,
Yeah.
lovely, and very vibrant and very strong. Yeah.
Yes. And as you can see, I don't know if you turn your camera back this way, it's just all over now. I think we started with one plant.
Turn the camera, sorry.
And it's
And
here,
there it is.
and here, and here, and here. So it's a great spreader. Probably too much, really. So if you've got it in your garden, you'll be.
And what's
keeping
that
it in
called?
check. It's lemon balm.
Lemon balm.
It's lemon balm. Although it's lemony, it's a member of the mint family. And you can see, if you're looking at structures of plants, that the way the leaves come out from the same position on the stem, and then again higher up at right angles, and then again, so they twist their way up the plant like that. And I think all the members of the mint family do that. There's a lot of members of the mint family, so I want to check them all out. But yeah, there's something like that. In amongst those, here it is, our rhubarb.
There you go, guys.
Yeah,
Rhubarb.
gorgeous. And that's due for picking. And when it gets picked this year, I'm not making cordial. I'm taking all my rhubarb to the Real Junk Food project. So they're having it this year. And we're particularly keen on doing that because of the COVID crisis, that we could share this food with the people who really need it. People do come here and help themselves, and we're sort of okay with that, although we love a donation if people are going to do that. But we really wanted to get food to the places where people can really appreciate it, because they find it difficult to manage for themselves.
So if you didn't hear that, the food gets donated to the Real Junk Food Project, who we, the Active Wellbeing Society, work with, and we've been currently doing a lot of work in feeding people during the COVID crisis. So come and see some of the great work that the Real Junk Food Project do, with partnership with the Highbury Orchard community here as well, with the donations of food that have been offered. And as I've noticed here, there's a windy path and it's taken us through the orchard. Is that the design?
Ah, yes. Yes, I'm glad you've just prompted me on that one. Yeah, you learn well, because I mentioned it last time. Yes, but this twisting and turning is something that we can do with our bodies. And if we walk down this path, you'll see that as you turn, your body has to rotate, and the vestibular system in your ears goes, ooh, different world, something's happening, and it stimulates our balance system. And when our balance system is stimulated, and almost any walking outdoors will do that, because it's a lumpy, bumpy world out here, it kind of knits all our senses together. So vision and audition and touch and feel and smell, we kind of locate where it's all coming from, and we make sense of this world, rather than it being lots of jangled bits of information that don't tie up. They become information that does tie up, and that actually adds to our well-being, because it's sort of, if you can make sense of your world, actually, that's pretty good for well-being, isn't it? So yes, we go down this path and then we turn.
So if you heard that, hi Shah, if you heard that, the design of this pathway is deliberate for your senses, and that's what we're always encouraging, is don't go out on your track, go off the track, come and see what's off the beaten track, and you'll learn a lot more and see a lot more beautiful sights than you would do if you stick to a path that's designed to just get you from A to B.
Yeah, that's right. All the natural world is made of curves. I don't think there's one straight line anywhere in the natural world, and we're actually part of this world. We're part of the curvy world, and yet when we live indoors, when we go to work in buildings, when we walk down our high streets, hardly any of those places have got curves, and we need them. We need to come out here. Obviously it's not just curves, but it's the greenness and the multi-sensoriness and the livingness, really.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't a word, I know, but the sense of life that is here amongst us all. I can smell lovely things on my fingers. Okay, beware of another handmade bench. This one again is one of David's funny creations. Now he's one of the most playful people I know. It's got this track going through it, and I think he deliberately did it so that it slopes. Anyway, he didn't quite get the legs even, so it does slope. And if you have a marble, or in his case it was a test piece, was a small berry off a tree, and you run it from here and it trickles its way down to the other end and pops off at the end.
Lovely.
So again, a silly little game, and children enjoy this.
I bet. And the holes, were they deliberate?
I don't know. Some of them have got legs in. I think it was, or did have legs in. I think now we've only got legs at either end. Maybe he put them there as alternative, just in case he needed more legs.
Okay.
We've also got our logo carved in there.
Yeah, I can see the logo
And
there.
there's an ambiguity about that logo. What does it look like to you? What would you say?
I think for me, first instance, it's a leaf. That's what I see. But what's the story behind it?
Well, the idea of nature does kind of shift. You know, sometimes things look different in different lights, for example. But this, I think, the idea was a leaf. And then we thought, oh no, if you just come around this way and look at it this way on, you might see a bird.
A bird, like a swallow, or yeah, that's what I see. What do you guys see, guys? What do you see from that angle here? That and the logo. And you can see this logo online as well, so Highbury Orchard Community CIC. If you can see a clearer picture, and let us know in the comments.
Some of the children see a heart shape there because it's kind of divided, and some people see a bean. So it's lots of different things.
Yeah.
It's a world inside a logo. We've come across another soft furry one.
Okay.
This is part of something called a guild, which is this whole ring of plants standing around this tree. And a guild, when the first time I come across the word guild, is a guild of craftsmen, so people who work together and support each other. And a plant guild does that in the plant world. So these plants support, ostensibly they just support the apple tree. So a big plant like this will have deep roots, and it will disturb the soil and make it more aerated and make it easier for the nutrients and the moisture to get through, so that the apple tree can reach all those goodies.
So did you hear that, guys? So the around here you can see it's a guild. It's called a guild, and we've got lots of different plants here that are supporting this apple tree, aerating the soil, like Liz said. So working together as a community, it's lovely to see how we've created that as well.
This one, you might very well have in gardens, is simply chives. So again, you can nibble those. That was the first plant that my eldest granddaughter learnt to recognise. It was so easy, so straightforward. And so we said, yes, you can pick the chives. If you want to pick other plants, ask first, check that it's okay. But she could pick chives and she could nibble them. Now chives, part of the onion family, have got quite a strong smell, and they can be used in a guild like this to actually repel some of the little creatures that would like to go and nibble the tree, and they smell the onion and they go ugh, like that, and they buzz off. So that's quite good. So we've got these to repel certain creatures, and then I don't think we've got evidence of anything that's attracting them. But another type of plant is called an attractant, so it's doing the opposite. The lemon balm might do that. Then when it flowers, the bees will want to come in and pollinate that. And this time of year, obviously the apple blossom has been and gone, but when there are plants that are flowering at the same time as the apple blossom, they might draw the pollinating insects like bees into the area, and then the bee sort of goes, while I'm here, I might as well visit the apple tree. And that way it gets pollinated as well. And as you can see, this one has been well pollinated because it's got apples all over it. This was the one I was thinning when I met you last.
Yes.
And I've actually been quite generous and left quite a few apples on. I may need to take a few more off, just because the weight of a maturing apple will pull the branches down and also waste the energy that the tree has. It can only really support a certain number of apples every year, and if it has too many, the apples drop off, and then we've wasted that energy.
So how do you choose which ones you're going to remove? How you thin Do you look at the quality of the
It's
apple?
done by eye and experience. I think that what we don't want to see is a great cluster of apples. Oh, here's one I missed. Look, see, if an apple is growing too close to another one, I've just taken that one off. They're both gonna not benefit, aren't they? They're both going to fail a bit because they'll rub up against each other, and then there'll be some kind of damage. And this little one obviously wasn't getting all the nutrients, whereas that one was doing quite well. So we'll take this one off. It wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. Should we look at another card?
Yeah, time for another card, guys. How are you all getting on, by the way? Eileen, it was like a bird on the bench. Shah, any questions for Liz? Someone mentioned about the rubbish. Sarah, you totally agree. Sickening to see the rubbish. You know, we're going to try and do a lot of that. There's plastic free week coming up soon, so we can encourage more single-use plastics, less use of them, and people cleaning the park. So we're going to be, it's Love Parks week coming up as well. So again, we're going to be doing lots of litter picking in parks, hopefully with groups around the city. So thank you guys, and we are really trying to address the litter issue.
Now I've got a question about litter that I'd love it if people who are following with us today can help me to answer. Because of the litter problem that we have, should we have more litter bins, or should we actually have no litter bins? What do you think would work best? You don't have to reply straight away.
So did you hear that, guys? The question is, should we have more litter bins or should we have less to control the litter problem? Now personally, I think that second option for me would mean that I'll have to take my rubbish with me, because I don't want to litter this beautiful place that I'm walking in. Don't want to spoil the experience for anyone else. I know, and you have to teach the children as well. So I think for me personally, second option. But yeah, a mixture of two, I think. Yeah.
Maybe it depends where the space is. So have a think about that. I'd be really interested to hear what people say.
Yeah, put it down in the comments, guys. Let us know your thoughts about that question.
Yeah. Have we got time?
Yeah, time for another card.
Okay, ta-da!
Ooh, this is a children's favourite, I think. Well, and mine. Experiment.
Experiment. All right. Well, you're right to tune into the children. I actually think play is all about experimenting. What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? Why did this happen? Why did my bricks fall over? Why did so-and-so come and knock them over? Or any of those other kind of questions. Lots of curiosity we can have, and then we can experiment to try and find the answers. But as I said earlier about expressing ourselves, we try and tap into the child within, if you like, amongst the adults that come here too, so that we can all play together. And when we run woodland play, which we hope to be doing in the summer holidays, we're going to start up again around about that time. We're going to experiment with small groups and families clustering around trees to make a kind of family tree. We're just going to try it in a small way to see how it works. But when people start coming again, there'll be lots of experimenting going on in their play, and we often find that the parents who come or the grandparents who come with their children kind of really get into it, and they get their fingers into the clay, or they get to find feathers and all sorts of things, and it's great to see everybody intergenerationally enjoying the space together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got Lulu Weston who just put a comment. My son loves the lemon balm at the orchard. He loves that it attracts the bees.
Yes.
So Lulu, if your son is watching or you're going to show this back later, let him know we are here at the orchard. What does he like to experiment? Put it in the comments. What does he like doing when he gets here? Does he like experimenting? So let's see what the response here is.
If we go down a bit further, Taz, I'll show you another experiment.
Morning.
Okay, we can go in this
Yeah.
way. So here we've got 2 raised beds, and this is part of our little project to try and grow more edibles so that we've got things to give away. Okay, so in this bed we've done it quite traditionally with rows. we've got a row of chard along here. These look like beans and some kale. Not quite sure what's growing at the other end. Can't remember now. And a couple of squashes in the corner.
Squashes, kale, lots of different things here. So in a traditional way, yeah. And then
Okay, and then over here, just to kind of see which works best, maybe in this setting, which works best for us, is look a little bit blank on this side, but if you kind of film this
Yeah.
part, this is square foot gardening. So the area, same sized bed, has been divided up into a sort of checkerboard, and in each square will be plants growing quite closely together, not in rows, and then next door to them will be some completely different plants. So here we've got tomatoes.
so just to get the message, this is square foot planting, and we've got tomatoes are the first two there. You can see.
Yeah. And chives.
Chives here again that we saw earlier.
Then this is tomatillas, which I think are related to the tomato, and again over there, so it's kind of
So
two diagonal
tomatillas,
beds.
yeah.
And then a couple of beds. This one you'll be able to see better. Is rocket,
Rocket there, yeah.
and it's looking a bit yellow, so that's not quite as good as I'd like. Whether it's not getting enough sun, or perhaps it's not got enough nutrients. It's just a little bit disappointing there. But with gardening, I think gardening is a little bit like being a scientist. You know, you test things out each year. Perhaps you do things a little bit differently so that you can make changes, sometimes just for the sake of it, but mostly because you want to try and improve things from year to year, do things a bit differently. And I love the way that the two volunteers that set this up, it was Helena and Jack, tied very loosely the twine to the plant, and then up it goes to this horizontal bamboo cane, and that will support the plant just enough to give it a little bit of support. On a windy day like today, I'm sure it will be very glad. I think plants feel happier when they're not stressed. I think
It's like
probably a bit
humans.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, they can relax and sort of think, oh, I don't have to hold myself up, I'm being a bit supported here. And then they can get on with their fruit bearing and flower bearing and fruit bearing, maybe grow a little bit bigger, that sort of thing. So that just gives them a little bit of help. What else?
Everyone needs a little bit of help, especially now during COVID, guys. So do rely on your friends and your neighbours for support. Family members, do pick up the phone, check on your vulnerable, the elderly, the isolated, like we've been doing at the Active Wellbeing Society. So here's plants doing a similar thing,
Yeah.
supporting. A bit of support is what's required.
And I think actually it's quite telling. They only need a tiny bit of support to
Yeah.
feel an awful lot better. And I think we're the same. Sometimes just a short phone call, and you just think, oh my goodness me, that's fantastic. Come over here and see the sperm, Tad.
So we have gone over our time, but we're going to carry on. I think it's so interesting to see this. So if you have got other things to do, we apologise. You can watch this back later. We're going to keep going for another 5 or 6 minutes, I think, and just complete the walk that we plan to do.
Okay. And it's good to see the colours we've got here. Can you see the colours
Yeah.
shining through? So behind this comfrey, brilliant nasturtium, and I hope people know that you can eat the leaves and the flowers. They're very sweet, the flowers.
So did you hear that? You can eat the leaves and the flowers of the nasturtiums, yeah? And what's these colours here? So you
Now
can see some
that's-
colours.
It's cornflower.
Cornflower.
I don't know what the yellow
Yeah.
one is. Not sure what that one is. And I think there's some daisies here. This was a mixed wildflower seed packet, the kind that you get given by Woodland Trust, and you have no idea what's in there, and you just kind of sow them. And what I've found, it's quite difficult sometimes to sow seeds. They don't always take if you just sow them in the wild. I know you're supposed to, but it doesn't always work for me, and I don't like too many disappointments. So I actually sowed them in a tray, in a seed
Yeah.
tray, and then I broke them up once they'd sort of established. I broke them up into clumps, and I sowed them in clumps, planted them in clumps really. So there would be some surprises in there.
We're talking about surprises. Eileen has asked a question. Have you got any bug hotels on the orchard?
We have had, and we have got one down here, although it's a bit
Yeah,
old.
so it's down there, yeah. Be
So
careful.
it needs kind of revamping.
So we're off to see the hotel, the bug hotel, but it needs revamping. But there is one here. I noticed that when I came. Here we go. So this is the bug hotel.
If you go up close, you'll be able to see that each compartment's made of different things. So there's bits of terracotta tiles. There's bamboo of different sizes. We have bamboo growing a bit too enthusiastically in the park, and so we harvest it quite a lot, it's very useful to us. And I think the
bamboo of different sizes
the bugs
there, yeah.
will enjoy this because they like to nestle in the crevices. This looks like a kind of a mixture of seeds and leaves and twigs and things. Unfortunately, we do get some people with more energy than sense who come and mess it up. So this
Someone's been at it.
Yeah. But as I say, this one's a bit old, and the plan was this summer to undo it and move the little house more into the sun, because we felt that again, it's a bit of an experiment.
It's a little bit shaded here, but
the first bug hotel we made was vandalised in 2 days, and it was beautifully done by some artists, and then it was completely trashed and set fire to. So when we made this one, we wanted to put it in a secluded place, but I think we compromised the insects because it was a bit dark and cold. So then we thought we'll do another one in the sun, but you know, there's always a risk. I think the lovely part of this orchard is that it's open access. There's no fence, there's no gate, it's part of the park, and everyone is truly welcome to come. And sometimes people see us working in the garden and they say, is it all right if we come? And oh yes, come right in, you know, of course. But at the same time, we do get some people who take rather selfish advantage of that approach and mess things up.
So the orchard is signposted from Highbury Park, and just behind Liz there you can see one of the paths, rest of the park there, as you can see just through there. So if you are parking in the main car park, you walk along, follow the signs for the orchard, you'll find the orchard next to the Chamberlain Gardens section, and it's open. Look, no gates here. Look, there's the orchard behind Liz. No gates, anyone can come in and see. And I think, as I saw a lovely sign earlier, should we start walking towards that and you can explain what that means, those words on there? Did you see that one there?
Sorry, the lovely...
There's a sign there with 3 sentences.
Oh yes. Yes.
Shall we go and explore and show our viewers? Do we have any cards left?
I have one, and we can address it pretty quickly.
Hi, morning. So we've got one card left as well, and then we're going to sign off the video. But look at this lovely view. This is the view of the orchard. Just take a moment here and appreciate that view. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah,
So what's the words here?
So we've got earth care, people care, and fair share, and these are the 3 ethics of permaculture programming, really, which is to say, when we're outdoors, we're working with nature, the way nature works, rather than trying to straighten things out and to grow strange plants that don't belong, and having to stick them in hot houses and things like that. So very much working with what we have. We have bricks, so we use bricks. We have fallen logs, so we use logs. We want to share our world. The fair share reflects that to some extent with one another, and also with the wildlife. Bug hotel, bird feeders, nesting boxes, that sort of thing, all around. And of course, earth care, we're caring for the world, the natural world that we live in. So one quick more card is just this one, which says explore. So you've probably noticed they're all X's of some sort or another. And when people come and visit, we hope they will explore. There's the garden to explore, but also the history. The fact that Joe Chamberlain lived here and various bits and pieces are still here, showing signs of life 100 years ago, which we haven't really mentioned. So only need to say, really come and visit, and then you'll see for yourselves.
Brilliant. I think that's absolutely, it's been a real pleasure for me to come and experience this. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Highbury Orchard community, and the great work that you do. And the volunteers, it's all a volunteer-led organisation, I believe. So thank you guys for everything you do here. It's opened our eyes and ears and senses to this place. Some people might not even know that this existed in the park, so come and explore now. Come and see it, come and experience it, come and live and breathe it. We've got B, so thank you very much, very interesting and enjoyable. So you got thanks coming from some of our viewers. And those who missed this, we'll put it back on the Active Wellbeing Society Facebook page. We're sharing it with the Highbury Orchard community. They can share it on as well. So please do watch back. Let us know your comments and thoughts about the video. Would you like more of this kind of thing happening? Could we start a walk from here, you know, once we're out of lockdown? I don't know. You're already doing some walks, I believe. Some wellbeing walks. So wellbeing walks from here, what a great idea that would be. So I'm going to sign off from here. Apologies that we've gone over today, but we really wanted you to experience and see this. We don't have an opportunity to come out very often to do these things, so I hope you don't mind us going over for the time that we'd planned. And then watch me next week as I'm out on another sensory walk and enjoying another green space near you. Any suggestions of where you want me to go for a walk, drop that in the comments as well, so we can then plan that in, so I can come to your local green space, and maybe you can accompany me on the walk like Liz has done today and show me and I learn from you. Okay, so thank you very much. Back to Liz.
Thanks. Thank you for viewing.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Take care.